distracted that I never noticed you feeling better. You want out of this hell, a program of anointing, repetition, or do I want to stay in the cell? Xander and Vel, can't you see? It's the only way. My heart and mind say.
Hello Goons and Goonettes, and welcome to a different kind of video. I wanted to do something special to commemorate the year 2021. Even though it's already past like New Year's, I've been doing a lot of stuff, so this has been hard to record this video on time, but I wanted to do something special, and today's video is all about music. 2021 was a big year in music for a lot of people. From what I've seen, a lot of new artists came up this year. A lot of albums from good mainstream artists came out this year, and I released my own music this year. So in today's video, I want to look back on music that I've personally listened to, and just talk about music because, well, that's kind of one of my things. I'd like to talk about music. It's one of my favorite things to talk about, and especially with this, especially with 2021. I want to talk about what came out this year and share what I've listened to. So even though this video was supposed to close out 2021 for my channel, let's just do this little thing like at the beginning for 2022. Just take a quick look back on 2021 and its music and in my experience. Which brings me to this video's disclaimer. I will only be talking about music that I've listened to. I may not talk about artists that you will want to hear in this video, which unfortunately I might not get to, either because I don't really listen to them or didn't really hear them this year. But what you can do is put in the comments of what artists I should check out and what albums to check out. It will be a nice sharing experience. With that out of the way, let's get started. So first off, I'd like to get started with soundtracks. 2021, it was an interesting year for soundtracks, actually. That piqued my interest, so let's get talking about those. Soundtracks I would like to mention is Tick Tick Boom with Andrew Garfield, written by Jonathan Larson, the Shang-Chi soundtrack, all produced by 88 Rising Artists, which is really cool, Friday Night Funkin', Scott DeWaz's Borderline Forever soundtrack, and a special extended edition of the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack. All of these are pretty solid soundtracks. Andrew Garfield's performance in Tick Tick Boom wowed me. His singing was incredible and it's respectful to Jonathan Larson. For Shang-Chi, they got the 88 Rising record label to get most of their artists to write and or produce a track for the movie, which adds a nice touch to the experience. All the tracks are pretty much banger after banger, with a few okay ones. I recommend listening to Foolish, that one is my favorite track. Then, what feels like out of nowhere came Friday Night Funkin'. The best part is the soundtrack that delivers the coolest sounding beats and smooth gibberish vocals. Kawhi Sprite did such a good job, and I can't wait for more. This year was Scott DeWaz's 200th special episode, Borderline Forever. So far, it's the episode with the most original music, and Scott and the artist collaborated on putting the soundtrack on digital stores. Most of the tracks are pretty solid, but I definitely just prefer listening to Closing In. Then there was the extended edition of the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack, and let's be honest, the only thing that was exciting to hear was Brie Larson's full version of Black Sheep, though it was cool to get released spec versions and Ramona demos. Quite a variety of soundtrack quality from 2021. It's pretty interesting. Now we can talk about singles. So this segment of the video will be talking about songs that didn't necessarily come out with any albums from 2021, but also be talking about a song that did come out with an album, but I didn't really listen to the album because it's not in my taste exactly, but yeah. First off, we have Slave to the Factory Line by DA Games,
a nerdcore song about puppy playtime, which is a joy to listen to. It's clearly a song where Will had more fun with pitch vocals, which adds a nice texture to the sound of the song. Another by DA Games is the Until Dawn remake, which is a powerful song to listen to. Everything feels refined from the main guitar riff and Will's improved vocals. Another is Hail to the Jester, Queen and King, an experimental song for Will. Though I wish it was longer, it's still an interesting listen. It's like an electronic prison break song, if that makes sense. And then the last DA Games song I'll talk about is Moving Up in the World, which came out very recently. It's another FNAF song. It's not as grand as We Want Out or Parasite, but it's grand in its own way. Will's vocals still blow me away, and the choir adding a special feeling to the instrumental, along with a mixture of synths and a piano. Next up, we have Nate Wants to Battle with Young Forever and To My Grave. Both are rocking jams to listen to. I just wish they lasted longer though. From CG5, he released a lot of songs this year, but ones I would like to mention are Monday Morning and Freak Out. Both are original songs from Charlie, which I would like to see more of from him. Monday Morning is a bop and executes the theme of the song well, and all the featuring artists do an excellent job together. Freak Out is another bop with Charlie's panic vocals adding charm to the sound. This year, The Living Tombstone dropped a underrated banger, Getting Bigger. This song is actually a promotion for the game Audio Clash. On its own, I love the riffs and drums so much. It's such a great song to jam out to. I'm not a listener of Baby Keem or Kendrick Lamar, but I do like Family Ties. It's clearly just them messing around with the beat, and I like that. Then finally, we have Mud, who dropped Timing. It's so interesting to listen to because it's not something that's heard from anybody else. It's a smooth instrumental with great vocals.
A lot of the artists I talked about in this segment, you should go check them out. I insist. They are really great producers and singers, just great music artists overall. Just go check them out. All relevant links will be in the description. But we can finally talk about the big portion of this video, which is albums. With albums, we'll be going from lowest rank to the highest rank. So that brings me to talk about the most disappointing album that I listened to in 2021.
The Revenge of Hobo Johnson. If you have been a viewer for a while, you will remember that I did a review for the album. As time passed, my opinion changed. Not in a good way. I tried giving this album a chance, but I just get more disappointed with it. Nothing about it makes me like it. I barely even come back to the songs I kinda like. If anything, they're just guilty pleasures. Overall, it's just a disappointing album. Nothing really hits home, unlike The Fall. The instrumentals just follow boring structures and none of them are fun. 2 out of 10. Now the rest of this list are albums ranging from good to amazing. Next up we have Planet Her from Doja Cat. The only experience I had with Doja Cat was Say So, and I do like the song, but I didn't progress any listening experience with Doja. However, I got myself listening to Planet Her, mainly due to the spread of it on TikTok. I gave the album and the deluxe a full listen, and I like it. It's not something that wows me, but it helped me appreciate Doja more, as she has such a unique voice for vocals and has such fun instrumentals under her belt. It's a fun album. Not a lot of tracks I would come back to constantly, but it definitely has stuff I like to listen to. 6 out of 10. Next is Sour by Olivia Rodrigo. I'm not exactly a big follower of Olivia either, but she delivered a solid pop album. But I think it falters a bit when the album continues the repetitive themes and instrumentals. I get it, it's like a breakup album, but I think it needed a wider word choice and variety of sounds. 7 out of 10. Next is Scaled and Icy by 21 Pilots, and I do like the charm of the album. I know it's not their usual stuff, and it's not the most interesting album, but I like it. It's a nice listen every once in a while, like Shy Away and Saturday. It's fun for me in a way. 7 out of 10. Next is Montero by Lil Nas X, and it's definitely a solid debut album for him. It shows off a lot of sounds he could do and pulls them off nicely. Though there's a couple of tracks where I don't find myself revisiting and just not in my taste. 7 out of 10. Next is Departed Dreams by Buckethead Kiddo, which just started releasing music this year. And to me, it's like a better Sour. It has a little more variety with the sounds and overall a creative album with its themes. Of course, it's one of those albums where you have to be in a certain mood, but it's an album that works. 8 out of 10. Next is Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish. I was not a fan of Billie before, I just concluded that my interest in music didn't align with the music she made. But after listening to Happier Than Ever, after hearing the mixed reviews, I like it. Phineas is definitely a creative producer, and with the themes of the album, it helped me appreciate Billie's vocals more. It's definitely a nice album to listen to. However, I went back and listened to the debut. So what I think of Happier Than Ever now is that it's a little less creative than the debut. The debut just has way more going on and it's executed well. Happier Than Ever is also executed well. I just think there's less stuff going on, though it fits the therapeutic theme of the album, which is kind of confusing for me, but it's still a good album, but I like the debut more. It's 8 out of 10. Next is Clover by Oreo. And my god, this is a nice concept album. Oreo and the team working on it did such a great job with the sounds of the album and the visuals. I love the aesthetic and I love electro swing instrumentals. 9 out of 10. Next is The Evening with Silk Sonic by Silk Sonic. I didn't hear about this project until I started seeing stuff about the Skate single on TikTok. TikTok has really become a big platform for music, wow. Anyways, my interest in the project sparked, and once it came out, I only wish it was longer. This was a great album, though I feel like they could have experimented with their sound more and not show much about the project. They released like 3 songs, including the intro, and that's basically like over half of the album. But Bruno and Anderson did such a good job, and their vocals together are perfection. 9 out of 10. Next is From Me to You by Quadeca. I'd like to thank Togurt for sharing about this album because it blew me away. This is an album with a consistent theme and incredible instrumentals. Ben created something wonderful, and I love most of the songs in the album. It's complex, sometimes emotional, and it has texture. 9 out of 10. Before we get to the last album, I'd like to mention an EP that came out in 2021, which is Faded by Boy With Uke. A 3-track EP, which is a nice listen. He has shown how much he can do with a ukulele, and it's wonderful. I can't wait for more from him. 9 out of 10. Finally, Dawn of the Demetrix by Iris, also known as DA Games, also known as Will Ryan. This is an incredible heavy metal album filled with heart and passion, delivers incredible riffs, drums, and vocals, also delivering a solid story with important messages in each song. The visuals are great and the sounds are great. This is my favorite album. 10 out of 10.
That's all the albums I like to talk about from 2021, and here's how they are ranked. And here's a ranking of individual songs. It was a very hard list to put together, but I'm pretty satisfied with this list. Sisyphus and Demetrix, of course, on the very top because they just wow me with the incredible production and the fantastic vocals. That's all the music I've basically listened to in 2021, and that's pretty much all I have to talk about. So it's time for you to share. Leave down in the comments of music I've missed and recommend some new artists. This was a sharing video, so you can share back. It'll be nice. Also, 2021 was a big year for me music-wise. I released my own debut album, Butterfly. That's out right now. You can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and YouTube Music. Also, the deluxe will be coming out soon, actually January 14th. That'll be pretty nice. You can pre-save and pre-order right now, actually, and all the relevant links will be in the description. Pretty soon, I'll be talking about new projects that will be coming out this year, 2022. I just got a lot more free time now with a lot of things out of the way, so I have more time to focus on projects for this year. It'll be great. For now, leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more content. I hope you join me this year for all kinds of content that I hope that I can get out. For now, see ya.